Hello, everybody. Grady, Polcyn here, Family First Life America, sitting here with my main man, Mr. Clay Sweet.
Thanks for having me.
Happy to have you here, buddy.
Absolutely.
You have been with FFL now coming up on 2 years.
I was thinking about you actually the other day. It was July 4th was the day that I came into the office, and you were there. I was super impressed at that and made the decision to start with FFL.
That's
right.
right.
Exactly 2 years ago.
Grinding on the 4th.
Absolutely.
Grinding on the 4th.
That meant a lot. That absolutely meant a lot. The fact that you were there grinding. Not many other people were there.
That's what you got to do, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what I'd love to do today, so there's the goal of this podcast. See, a podcast to me is like on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify. So I feel like this would be like on this video training, on this video interview, on this call, on this training today. We've got you, Mr. Clay Sweet, here with us today. And what I'm excited about doing is maybe kind of taking a look back in and on the progression of your business, ups, downs, like anything. And then what you're doing today to continue to grow. Because right now, last month, your team issue paid nearly $350,000, which is a $4 million a year insurance agency. You yourself sell quite a bit of insurance as well. You did over $450,000 last year on your own pen. On track again this year to continue to lead. And we always talk about two muscles that you build here. The selling muscle, which is learning the skills, objections, rebuttals, what to deal with, how to take control in the home. And then the same standpoint is in a recruiting sense, how to give a new agent trust and faith that this is someplace that they can commit to, setting proper expectations that they need to then invest money to buy leads to go out there and protect families, and then now turning around teaching them how to go out there and do the same thing if they so choose to build a team as well. And I think that you've just got such a great perspective. You got a great work ethic. You work really hard. You're very humble. And your whole goal is, one, to grow a business, but two, more importantly, to help your agents on your team continue to grow as well. So there's a lot of people out there that are in that sort of decisionary track. They're getting started, or maybe they've been here some time, and maybe they're just looking into us and they want to learn the mindset of someone who's built a $4 million a year insurance agency, selling nearly $500,000 a year on your own personal pen. And then what you're doing, maybe some day-to-day stuff, and at the same standpoint, but what are you doing now to continue to fuel the growth, to have conversations with people about building a business here with us? Gotcha.
Okay. So you want me to just start kind of like the progression of starting out with FFL? Is that
if you're for sure, give some color, but I mean, we don't need to go through the entire background. More so is like, what are you working on today? What have you learned from all this time that you want to say, hey, new person who's in your first, second, third month or about to start with us, avoid all these landmines and just get to doing this stuff now.
Yeah. So I think perspective is great. So kind of going back to the beginning, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I, leaned heavily on you in the beginning. I have a bartending background, not much of outside of that background. Sure. So all I knew was bartending. I had my business management degree, but I didn't know how to build a business. I didn't know, how to sell. I didn't know any of that stuff. So I think that the biggest thing that I'm proud of myself for is consistency. So, just the day in, day out of consistently talking to people, consistently, calling and booking appointments, consistently running business. I told you this many months ago that I'm very proud of the fact that I've submitted a piece of business every week since I started at FFL.
That's good.
So, I'm very proud about that. So I would say, to back up a little bit, I would say that, starting out, you're just not that good. I wasn't that good in the home. I wasn't that good on the phone. I wasn't that good at talking to agents. I'd do everything that you teach your agents not to do. I would spend 45 minutes on the phone with an agent and go, you know what? Tom really liked me. I think he's going to join. And then I never talked to Tom again. And then, I spend 30 minutes on the phone with Jan begging her to let me come over to sell her insurance. And she deadbolt locks the door on the way, when I get there. So, I just think that the big mantra here is like, stay here a year, right? If you stick it out a year, you'll be so grateful that you do. And I think after a year, I kind of hit my stride in the sense of like, started, learning how to talk to agents, learning how to protect my time, learning how to position myself in the home. And like, I don't know what area you really want me to hit on, but I just think that you just get better the more that you do.
That's what we want to
repetition.
understand.
You know what I mean? It's repetition. So, when you're talking to a client in the beginning, you're scared to death. You think they can see right through you, and you're going, oh God, please answer the phone, Grady, please answer the phone. And thank God you did every time. And the same thing that goes with an agent. It's like when my first time talking to a licensed agent, when I was trying to bring them on board, I was nervous because I thought they had all the answers and they were going to see right through me. We'll come to find out we've got the best situation in the country, and they need us way more than I need them. So I just think that kind of you asking me these questions bringing so many emotions because, 2 years ago I was asking people how they want their whiskey poured, and now 2 years fast forward, I've got a business. I've been able to retire my mother. I've been able to take care of family members. I've been able to generate a lot of income. And I think my biggest thing is I'm hard on myself because I want to grow faster and I want to but there's a little bit of perspective happening right now where it's like, okay, I've done a little bit in this business, but I've got so much more to do.
I love it. I love it. Now, in that process, so you've gone from producer to now business owner, but now you're business owning producer, which is a good place to be. We talk about sell till you hit $1 million a month, puts you in a good position, cash flow to continue to fund the business, pay for staff, offices, investing in leads, both for agents and for recruitment. What has it been like now going from a producer to now a business owner? Because you have quite a few staff, you invest quite a bit to continue to grow. What is, what is that like? What is some advice you have for the new agents that are maybe looking to get their first staff member? What would they look for in a good staff member? Let's talk about that early onset process.
Absolutely. So I think that the whole key to the business, and I think anyone will tell you, is that if you're selling at a high level, it allows you to build faster and it allows you the ability to make mistakes. If I'm selling 10 grand a month, and I screw up and I spend some money on like leads that don't generate anything, I'm like going, oh God, that's a big problem. But if I'm generating 40K a month and I invest in something that doesn't quite work out, I move on and I diversify. So I think that some things that I did in the beginning is I just followed you. I was like, hey, what should I do? And you're like, you need to invest $2,000 a week in leads, and then you need to get your first staff, which I did. I think that you want someone as far as a staff that wants to help you succeed and is in it just not for the paycheck. Well, sometimes that's hard to find. A lot of people that submitted are in it for the paycheck, obviously, but you want someone that wants genuinely for you to succeed. So you want to pay them well. Mm-hmm. You want to take the time to train them. I think in the beginning you think, okay, I hired an admin or I hired whoever. They're going to know what they need to do. No, you got to treat it like an agent. You need to spend the time. If you spend the time on the front end, then you don't have to spend as much time on the back end. So, it's just so many lessons that I could go over, but it's just like sell at a high level. If you're selling 40 grand a month and you have the money to invest 15K a month in your business, pay for staff, treat it like a business. And I just think that, I've had the ability to, I don't think I'm the most skilled person on the planet. I think you would agree. I'm not the most skilled salesperson. I'm not the most skilled recruiter, but I think that what's going to end up winning for me in the end is the fact that I'm just consistent. I do this every day. I recruit as much as possible. I spend what I need to spend. You've never had to get on me for spending more. You never had to get on me for producing. And I just think that that's what's going to get it for me, basically.
So a question for clarity for someone who goes, he spends how much? And it's just kind of us helping people understand that process from being new mm-hmm. and having faith and belief in yourself and hope for the future, and not just blind hope and blind faith, like structured hope and faith to have just followed the footsteps of people. What is it like spending more on your business now than you used to make in a month?
That's a great question, dude. That's a great question, because sometimes I'll look at my outgoing expenses and I'm like, I think it almost humbles you, because you're like, I can't believe that I'm making enough money to be able to afford to spend this much money. Because when I was at the bar, if someone gave me $100, I'd be like, woohoo, like this is a good tip. Now it's like you're talking about tens of thousands of dollars. So you're just, you're just kind of elevated to a degree. And so, it just comes with time. Like, the first time I spent money on ZipRecruiter for $5,000 or the high level for $5,000, and it was like, okay, this is a good amount of money. Now I don't even think about it. I used to look at my commissions every day, and now I don't even pay attention to it. I haven't looked at my bank account in a while. Like, it's just like, it's all about the work. It becomes about serving others, helping, my mindset's on the agents that I've brought in and helping them. It's not necessarily for me. Of course I'll be rewarded for helping. This is all about how many people you can help hit their goals.
Yes.
That's it. Like, Grady, you've helped a ton of people hit their goals or get, on their way, right?
Sure.
And so in return, you've been able to do amazing things for your family. And like, that's what it's all about. Like, you always put us first. You always answer your phone. You're in it. Like you're answering your phone, you're spending money, you're running appointments, you're leading from the front. I just done everything that basically you and Andrew and Sean and everyone says to do, and it's worked out great. So I don't even think about it. I bet you your expenses now are drastically different than your expenses were when you first started. And probably you don't think about it that much because it's just become the norm, right?
What's interesting is, as you say that, it's you know, and I always try to bring this back to the newest person, because the person that's in it, they're on the track, are going to do this, or they're going to just be a producer and we love them to death. But it's that understanding that, like, if you have a desire to be a business owner, if you have friends that have started small businesses, or family members, or you're aware of, or you watch Shark Tank like many entrepreneurs of us, or the Marcus Lemonis, The Prophet, you watch these shows about business, and you've got this desire to, you know, to run something or be involved or potentially participate in the growth of something that you'd create. It's very unique to be able to be in a business like ours, where, say, we run a burger shop, like, and the burger shop average income, gross revenue in a month is $100,000, with the expense of it being probably in the neighborhood of $70,000 to $80,000. So the owner of that burger shop is making $20,000 to $30,000 less taxes. Okay, and this is just a hypothetical example. Like, what's unique though for us is that we can decide, hey, this month I want to gross $300,000 and just go work. You take our effort and energy and go sell a bunch of insurance to families that requested our coverage, because we have warm buyer leads at FFL, and then in turn be able to generate more profit for us. So, like, coming all the way back to seeing where you began and then now where you are, you're the same person who internally had a desire to run a business. And that's the thing that I think many new people don't clarify for themselves early on is, do I want to be a business owner? And if I'm raising my hand and go, yes, I want to be a business owner, then it's understanding there is no real off, right? And that's okay though. You're compensated highly and appropriately for the effort you put in your business. That's why you mentioned answer your phone. You know, there's people in our agency that I reach out to and I can't get a hold of them for 6 hours. And I don't ask them what they're doing, but I know they're not working. And it's not as though that I'm not micromanaging them. It's, hey, we have an issue, or hey, we need a decision on something. And when I can't get a hold of you, it doesn't make any sense, because Sean Mike, who runs the company, I can't go more than like 8 minutes without getting a hold of him and an answer to something. So it's like, it's how much are you committing to your business? And for you, you're highly committed. I can reach out to you at 11, or I can reach out to you at 5 a.m. and I'm going to get an answer back in 4 minutes. Mm-hmm. That's what's called being a business owner. So coming all the way back is like, first making the decision, do I want to be this person who's going to have this responsibility, but also in turn take advantage of the profits? Well, okay, if that's the plan, then I am going to have to spend some money along the way and commit. I think that's something you've illustrated very well here.
So I think that the cool thing about FFL is, like, you are compensated for the amount of value that you bring to the market, right? So if I, Clay, go sell $5,000, which is what I did yesterday, right? So I went out and did yesterday.
In a day.
So that's what I did yesterday. But I also answered my phone, onboarding calls, recruited, helped other agents. I impacted not only myself and my family, but I impacted, Erica's family and Riyadh's family and Sean's and Josh and so on and so forth. And I think that that's what people miss is, like, when you're a business owner. Yes, absolutely. But, like, I think that word gets tossed around a little bit. At the end of the day, like, answer your phone, hire staff when staff needs to be hired, run 30 appointments a week, spend $2,000 a month or a week, and you're gonna grow a business. Like, you're gonna, spend money on marketing. You're gonna grow a business. Now, there's things along the way that you learn. There's, you've done a great job of, helping me avoid landmines, just like, Andrew helped you. Mm-hmm. And so, like, the cool thing about this business is you can bring someone on that's new and you're like, don't worry, dude, I got you. As long as you're doing what you should be doing, you've got a great attitude and you're actively trying to grow your business, I'm going to be there for you. I'm going to answer my phone. I promise you this. I'm going to point you in the right direction. You've got the right vehicle. So the cool thing is, like, it's not dependent on my skills for them to be successful.
Correct.
I just have to be there when they need me and answer questions and try to lead by example. So That's the coolest thing about this is I am not Bill Gates. I am not Elon Musk. Like, I'm just simply, I'm a dude that literally was pouring whiskey 2 years ago, and now, like, I'm sitting here. So it's just cool because that's what FFL brings is, like, the ability to grow a business without I mean, basically knowing what the heck you're doing, which is really cool.
Because you're surrounded by other people that have figured it out as well, exactly. And you've got other people to ask advice from. So what is not your advice to the new person? What is, like, if someone's like, I want to build a business to $4 million a year and beyond, and what is the leader of that business doing now? So I know you're doing a lot of Facebook messages. You have zip spots, high level ads. Like, what are you at right now, and what are you doing? So someone who's like, oh, I want to pass Clay. Oh, I was a bartender too. Or, oh, because people need a target, right? There's targets within our company and outside of our company that I look at and go, I want to pass them, not for them to lose, but because I want our team to win. And that's an important thing to have. So if someone's got, wants to catch Clay or wants to mirror or mimic what you're doing on a day-to-day or week-to-week process, what is recruiting, conversations, goals of class, goals of contracts a week, so people can have some numbers to write down to say, this is what my goals are?
So I think that, this is all great questions. So I think that, consistency, I think that once again, we can agree that I wasn't the best in the beginning and I've gotten better over time. So I think that number one, you need to set some expectations in a given week as to what you want to accomplish, because if you don't have a goal, like, you don't know where you're headed. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, 10, 10, and 10, I'm trying to write 10 grand a week. I'm trying to put 10 people into licensing, and I'm trying to put 10 people to contracting. Now, what's cool about building a business is you're eventually going to find people that want to run with you. So then they're doing the 10, 10, and 10. So if you get enough people collectively doing that, then you're going to grow just, almost organically. So for me, it's just staying consistent. It's no off switch. Like, we'll get done with this, I'll go home, I'll grab a bite to eat, I'll be on Facebook Messenger, I'll be, I'm just consistently doing this. And, full disclosure, like, we've gone back a little bit the last couple months. But am I discouraged? No. Am I competitive? Heck yes. Do I want to pass people? Yeah, of course. So all I got to do is lean on, okay, what was I doing prior to get to where I was in April, and what can I go back to the fundamentals to get to where I want to go, in August, September, and so on and so forth. So I think that just staying on the ball, making sure that you're consistently plugging people in. If you're always bringing new blood into your agency, you're always going to grow.
What's a weekly number for you? Do you have a goal number of either conversations? Is it number of do you have a number, or is it just pure battery dying?
Truthfully, like, in a given day, I don't set a specific number. I just want to know that going to bed, like, I've reached out to, roughly 5 to 10 people a day.
Got it.
That's pretty much where I try to get at. As long as I have, we're constantly putting people into licensing, constantly putting people into contracting. Because at the end of the day, it's, some people are going to fall off, some people are going to get going. It's a numbers game. Yeah. So you got to understand that, you cannot, and we fell victim to that in April. We started selling at a high level, and we kind of took our eye off the ball, and we've gone backwards a little bit. But that was a valuable lesson to me, that you cannot take your eye off the ball, and you're going to lose some people in this business. But as long as you keep on adding people, it's going to work out, because it's just too good of a business. Either you're making money here, or, you're just not working.
Sure.
That's just the way it is. So, for me, it's consistently, once again, ZipRecruiter, Facebook, high level, all the different things that we have at our disposal, which you guys have done a great job of providing those resources for us. I think it's just taking advantage of it and just not having an off switch. Like July 4th, I put 3 people into licensing just because I've got on my mind, I want to grow this thing. I really want to grow this thing and help as many people as I can. So
it's compound effect. It's compound effect of time committed. And it's not as though it's an immediate competition against someone else. It's competition against yourself. And that the more people you can communicate with to share this opportunity from a building standpoint, and more agents you can help who are new and want to start selling and making money for their families, the greater this is going to be. Because, I was joking earlier with a group, we're not selling vacuums and used cars here. We have, 90+% commission starting rates that are going to pay out on the policy within 24 hours to the agent's bank account. It doesn't take a lot to convince someone that sounds like a good deal, and I want to be a part of that.
Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. There's many companies. I was talking to a guy, and he's talking about this other company that has, what would I say? He's leaving the company. What can I say appropriately here? That there's the top comp at that company is 120. And they've been around for 20 years, and there are 30 people in 20 years that have hit that level. And 120. We probably have over 30 people on our own team that are at 120 or higher. And if in the entire company, there's probably hundreds. hundreds of people at high commission rates that are higher than this other. And is it us versus them? Yeah, it is us versus them, because they all should work here because we'd pay them more and take care of them. We've got better price leads and a better opportunity for them to grow and build a real business. And that's really the thing that kind of it falls back on is, as you building a business here and you committing this to your future and spending time away from your father and your mom and your family and focusing on your business, it's knowing that I'm building something here that someone else at it there's no other greater opportunity that I'm trying to protect, that I'm trying to put blinders on them and hope they don't see. I hope they don't find out about Bob's Insurance Co. out of Northern Omaha, Clay, because if they find out about Bob's Insurance Co., then they're all going to leave FFL. Well, we are Bob's Insurance Co. of Northern Omaha, and everyone is afraid that they find us. And sorry, but you're welcome to join, and we'll take care of you. And anyone who's out there watching can be a part of what we're doing, what we're creating. We should issue $500 million in insurance this year in our 8th year. That means means $500 million in commissions paid out to our agents in our 8th year. And there's no off, there's only on, and it's all gas, no brakes. And we have one focus, which is to help everybody. And that's it. If you're in the industry, deserve to be paid more. And if you're in sales or entrepreneurship, you deserve to check out our opportunity and see what we're part of. But Clay, if they'd like to get a hold of you, how would they reach out to you? What's your phone number?
Reach out to me at 818-451-8488.
And
I'll always answer.
One more time.
818-451-8488.
All right.
Text me, call me, whatever.
350 in a 4-week month. What is your goal by year's end as a team?
I mean, big goals, man.
What is it?
Trying to do 1.2, 1.5.
1.25,
Yep.
1.5. 1 point. You pick one. We got to have something. We are right on the
1.5.
1.5.
We're going big.
You heard Clay Sweet here going for 1.5 board member by December. Dude, I think you can do it. No problem. You got enough firepower. You have amazing people on your team, and they're recruiting like crazy too to set themselves up. And what's great about that mindset is that they're building something for themselves, and we're just here to help guide them.
Yep.
Because you've been here for 2 years, and they've been here for 2 months, and they're excited too, and they're already making money selling insurance. So,
absolutely.
Any final words for the newer and rising?
Best opportunity on the planet. Best opportunity. Sold insurance yesterday. I'm gonna be paid tomorrow. God is good.
God is good.
Let's go.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for coming on.
Absolutely.